Hi, it's Steph from Happy Place to Grow. Yes, we made it. We are here at video 7. This has been a 7-part series. We have been working through the 7 skills that successful kids have that set them apart from those that struggle. And because this was such an important topic, the 7 skills, I wanted to just separate out each skill. And this comes from an article that I read in April from a psychologist, Michelle Borba. And she lists the 7 skills as self-confidence. That was video 1. In video 2, we talked about empathy and then self-control, and self-control being the one skill of the 7 that is definitely highly correlated with success. So that's the most important of the 7. And then integrity. Curiosity was 5. That was fun. We persevered through perseverance, although it wasn't that bad. And now we've landed on video number 7, optimism. I'm glad we're closing out with a positive spin on the skills. So let's get started. Optimism. Pass it on. Now, you know, optimism is that hopefulness, it's that confidence about the future or about something that we're attempting to do. I don't know. Have you ever heard that old adage, the glass half empty versus the glass half full? Well, what kind of view do you have? What are your lenses? What do you see? I know for me, most of the time, the first line of vision is half empty. But as I have grown older, I have tried to work on changing my view. If I start to feel that half empty feeling, I try to rethink and try to re-examine and look at it in a different way. And you know, that brings me to the fact that, don't you just love to be around more positive people? I need positive influences in my life because they help pull me back into looking at the glass as half full. So you definitely need to be around that positive vibe. So you might be thinking, how can I help my child? How can I even help myself as we're working on being more optimistic? Well, here are some simple things we can do. The first thing that we can do is to watch our words, or, guard what we say, because what we say is what we're going to hear, and what we hear is going to build our inner voice, the voice of what we're thinking and perceiving and seeing. So we're going to be setting the example. We're going to be the model for our kids. We're going to be helping them with what we say. I know as a young teacher, when I was starting off, I was taught to state things in a positive way. So when I was setting my classroom rules, for instance, instead of saying things like, don't run, I would state them like this: we're going to walk. We're going to walk down the hall. Because think about it. If I'm saying what I want them to do, walk, that's what they're hearing, and that's what's in their mind, and that's what's going to come out as the action. So if I say, now let me just put it in the more negative tone. What if I say to a kid, don't run? What's the last thing they hear? They hear the word run. So it sounds like simple just talk, but when you think about it, it's really helping us to develop what we take in and then what we act out. So we're stating things in a positive way. So you might have to step back and think about how you're talking to your child, even how you're talking to people around you. So again, this can be a family activity, a family life skill. Now, So as you're stating things in a more positive way, that's going to be helpful. Now think about this. There was a comparison in the article, and it was telling the difference between an optimistic person or child and a pessimistic person, child. So the optimistic person views things that they encounter as temporary, as changeable, as overcomable. The pessimistic person looks at situations as impossible, as permanent. So we've got temporary versus permanent. I can overcome, I can change versus impossible. So as we're working through being a more optimistic family, we want to guide our children by having a more positive outlook and have more positive conversations. We're speaking things that we want our children to do, and we're stating it in a way that sounds like something they can do. Oh, well, that one is definitely going to be a work in progress. And, as you're working through it, you may find yourself in that negative tone, speaking things negatively. Hey, it's okay. Stop. Hey, this is real life. Stop and just restate. My husband and I do this all the time because we're working on our words, even as adults. And, we say things and then one of us might say, nope, let's think about it this way. And we encourage each other by kind of correcting in a positive way, in a positive light. Hey, let's look at it this way. And it just helps us feel, again, let me bring you back to the definition, hopeful and confident about the future or what we're working through. All right. This has been really fun. I am so glad we journeyed together. I have learned so much. And even as I've talked this through to you and with you, I have refreshed this information over and over. And it's definitely something I'm going to be working on as a caregiver, as a grandmother, even for my adult children. I want to work on these skills for me. All right. I am so glad that we had this time together, and I want you to get to work on these skills. Don't get discouraged or give up. You can persevere through them. You've got the information. Just work on it, and it's a work in progress, of course. All right. I am going to close up this video series, but I want you to join me in the future for more great time together. And as always, I want you to have a good one.